Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to morning news source only here at Daily Tribune. We are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune Now on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For our headlines. A San Juan court rejected Senator Jinggoy Estrada's bid to stop flood scam accuser Bryce Hernandez from publicly linking him to alleged irregular projects. Former NBI Director Jaime Santiago revealed he was compelled to resign, saying his leadership efforts were, quote, not appreciated by the majority. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has declared a state of national calamity to fast-track relief and rehabilitation efforts after Typhoon Tino's widespread devastation. President Marcos urged Maynila to uphold integrity and public service as it embarks on a new chapter following its public listing. North Korea announced the death of its former ceremonial head of state, though details on the cause and funeral remain undisclosed. The DOE projects a 0.35 centavo rollback in gasoline and slight increase in diesel and kerosene due to global market factors. October inflation held at 1.7% as food prices eased. This rate slightly improved to 3.8%, PSA data showed. Harold Alarcon powered UP to an 89-88 win over UST with a clutch game winner in UAAP Season 88 men's basketball. Lionel Messi led the 2025 MLS Best 11 after recording 29 goals and 19 assists in a historic Inter-Miami season. Czech Republic's Natalie Pushkinova won Miss Earth 2025 in Parañaque, highlighting climate action and hunger awareness in her advocacy. Today is the 8th of November 2025, Saturday. I am Eliana Lacap, bringing you this week's top stories. Let's get started. For our weather update, Typhoon Yuhan has officially entered the Philippine Area of Responsibility as of today, November 8th. From the latest satellite data, the storm moving west-northwest, placing eastern Visayas and nearby areas under heightened alert for strong winds and heavy rainfall. Authorities are advising residents to secure their homes, prepare emergency supplies, and stay tuned to official advisories as Yuan continues to intensify over Philippine waters. Local governments are also monitoring for possible flooding and landslides. Stay safe and stay informed, Katribu. And for our breaking news, Ombudsman Crispin Remulla confirmed in an interview with DZRH that the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant against Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. The ICC warrant is reportedly connected to the alleged crimes against humanity committed during the Duterte's administration's war on drugs. De la Rosa, who previously served as PNP chief under former President Rodrigo Duterte, has yet to issue an official statement. Now let's move on for this week's headlines. A San Juan court has denied Senator Jinggoy Estrada's plea for a temporary restraining order against former Bulacan Assistant District Engineer Bryce Hernandez. According to Hernandez's lawyer, the court ruled there was, quote, no extreme urgency to justify Estrada's request, which sought to stop Hernandez from making public statements linking the senator to alleged irregular flood control projects. The case remains pending, with the hearing for Estrada's application for a writ of preliminary injunction set for November 12th. Hernandez earlier accused Estrada of taking a 30% commission from the projects, allegations the senator has denied. Now, newly resigned National Bureau of Investigation Director Jaime Santiago revealed he was forced to resign from his post. During Monday's turnover ceremony, Santiago said his efforts as NBI chief were, quote, were not appreciated by the majority, prompting his resignation. Though he did not elaborate on who pressured him to step down, Malacanang earlier accepted Santiago's irrevocable resignation, filed last August, and has designated former Deputy Director Lito Magno as officer in charge. His parting message, Santiago urged Magno to lead the Bureau objectively, saying that leadership means promoting fairness and discipline, even toward allies or favorites. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has approved the recommendation to declare a state of national calamity following the devastation caused by Typhoon Tino. The president made the announcement after a situation briefing with key government agencies. He said relief operations are ongoing in affected areas as the government mobilizes aid and rehabilitation efforts. Marcos also directed agencies to prepare for another weather disturbance expected to enter the country this weekend. The declaration aims to speed up disaster response, release emergency funds, and stabilize prices in storm-hit regions. On the other hand, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos on Friday urged Maynilad Water Services to, quote, never lose sight of the people you serve, as the company marked its public offer listing in Taguig City. Marcos assured Maynilad of the government's continued support as it enters a new phase in improving water service delivery. He also emphasized honesty and transparency in rebuilding public trust, saying reform must be, quote, built on work done with integrity. Marcos added that Maynilad's listing invites scrutiny and accountability, proving that private enterprise can serve the public good while expanding the country's capital markets. North Korea has announced the passing of its former ceremonial head of state, a longtime diplomat who once represented Pyongyang in several high-level meetings abroad. The official, known for his role in North Korea's symbolic leadership structure, had served under multiple administrations. State media have yet to release details about the cause of death or funeral arrangements. Motorists should brace for mixed fuel price movements next week, according to the Department of Energy. DOE Oil Industry Management Bureau Assistant Director Rodela Romero said early estimates show a 0.35 centavo rollback for gasoline and an increase of 0.30 centavo for diesel and 0.35 for kerosene per liter. Romero attributed the changes to geopolitical tensions, including Ukraine's drone attacks on Russia's export hub and expectations of OPEC Plus production ramp up. Fuel firms will announce final adjustments on Monday to take effect on Tuesday, November 11th. The Philippine inflation held steady at 1.7% in October, unchanged from the previous month as food prices eased. The Philippine Statistics Authority said the rate stayed within the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas' forecast range and below the government's 2 to 4% target. Lower rice and meat prices helped offset higher costs of fish and vegetables. Economists say the stable inflation could allow the BSP to cut interest rates in December to boost growth. Meanwhile, the September unemployment rate slipped to 3.8%, with 1.96 million Filipinos jobless. Slightly better than August 3.9%, but still higher than last year's 3.7%. Harold Alarcon willed the University of the Philippines to an 89-88 victory over University of Santo Tomas in UAAP Season 88 men's basketball. The graduating stars scored the Fighting Maroons' last 8 points, including a game-winning turnaround, jumping over Mark Lemit with 24.3 seconds left, securing the final lead change and a nail-biting finish. Lionel Messi leads this year's MLS Best 11th after a record-breaking season with Inter Miami. The 8th-time Ballon d'Or winner scored a league-high 29 goals and tailed 19 assists, becoming the only second player in the MLS history to top both categories in the same season. Joining him up there are Dennis Buanga of Los Angeles FC and Anders Dreyer of San Diego FC. Goalkeeper Dane St. Clair and defender Tristan Blackmon headlined 6 first-time honorees in the elite lineup. Messi's standout year also cements his growing legacy in American football. Natalie Pushkinova of the Czech Republic was crowned Miss Earth 2025 on 5th of November in Parañaque City, Philippines, during the pageant's Silver Lining 25th Anniversary Edition. The 21-year-old beat 78 other delegates. She emphasized that climate action and hunger must be tackled together, stating, quote, "Even though I live on the other side of the world, we are still facing the same climate change, and we can prevent both hunger and environmental causes." Her win marks the Czech Republic's second Miss Earth crown. And that's all for now. Join us again tomorrow at 11 a.m. still here on Daily Tribune Facebook page, Tribune Now on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Also catch the diva that you love, Alvin Ignacio, and Ultramaldita Alex Brosas later and tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m. for the DTT show on Diario Tirada's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Once again, I am Eliana Lacap, and this has been Tribune News on Q.